Japan's 9.1 earthquake with a tsunami. 2011 disaster. On March 11, 2011, Japan was hit by a 9.1 magnitude earthquake, followed by a massive tsunami, causing widespread destruction and loss of life. We will take a deeper look at this tragic event in today's video. So without any further ado, let's dive in. The earthquake that struck Japan on March 11, 2011 was one of the most powerful earthquakes ever recorded, measuring 9.1 on the Richter scale. The epicenter was located approximately 70 kilometers east of the Oshika Peninsula in Miyagi Prefecture. The shaking was so intense that it could be felt as far away as Tokyo, 373 kilometers to the south. The quake triggered a series of devastating aftershocks, some of which were almost as strong as the original quake. As the ground shook, buildings swayed and crumbled, roads buckled, and gas lines ruptured, causing fires to break out across the affected area. The Japanese people, however, are well versed in earthquake preparedness, and many were able to evacuate their homes and workplaces before the worst of the damage was done. The tsunami. The real horror was yet to come. Just 40 minutes after the earthquake, a massive tsunami struck the northeastern coast of Japan, with waves reaching as high as 40 meters in some places. The tsunami was caused by the displacement of a huge volume of seawater by the earthquake, and it hit the coast with such force that it swept away everything in its path. Impacts of the disaster. The impact of the tsunami was devastating. Thousands of people lost their lives, with entire towns and villages being swept away. The death toll from the earthquake and tsunami was staggering. Over 15,000 people were confirmed dead, with much more missing or presumed dead. The wave also caused significant damage to infrastructure and public facilities, including hospitals, schools, and public transportation systems. The tsunami also caused a nuclear disaster at the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant, where several reactors were damaged and began to leak radiation. The impact of the disaster was felt not just in Japan, but around the world. Rescue workers and volunteers poured in from all over the world to help with the recovery efforts. The rescue operations and aftermath. The Japanese government was quick to respond to the disaster, mobilizing the military and police to provide assistance to those in need. The government also set up a command center to coordinate rescue and relief efforts, working with international aid organizations to provide food, water, shelter, and medical care to the affected population. In the immediate aftermath of the disaster, the focus was on rescue and relief efforts. Tens of thousands of people were displaced from their homes, with many left without access to basic necessities like food and water. As time passed, the focus shifted to rebuilding efforts. The Japanese government launched a massive reconstruction effort, with a budget of over 200 billion allocated to rebuilding infrastructure and restoring affected areas. The government also set up programs to provide financial assistance to affected individuals and businesses, helping them to rebuild their lives and get back on their feet. Impact on the economy. The disaster also had significant economic impacts, with many businesses and industries being disrupted or destroyed. The fishing industry in particular was severely impacted, with many fishing communities being devastated by the tsunami. The Japanese government has implemented various measures to support affected industries, including financial assistance and loans to help businesses recover. Cleanup of Fukushima nuclear power plant. One of the biggest ongoing challenges is the cleanup of the Fukushima nuclear power plant. The plant suffered a meltdown in the aftermath of the disaster, and the cleanup effort is expected to take decades and cost billions of dollars. There are also ongoing concerns about the long-term health effects of radiation exposure for the people living in the affected areas. Despite the ongoing challenges, the Japanese people have shown remarkable resilience and strength in the face of adversity. Communities have come together to support each other, and there has been a renewed sense of national pride and solidarity in the wake of the disaster. As we continue to remember this tragedy, let us also honor the strength and courage of those who have been impacted by this disaster. So that brings us to the end of